Hey guys, this is Peter Beckwith. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. I just wanted to give you a shout out before we watch the second half of the winter round, an exciting conclusion. And we'll pick up where we left off and see if Frank Villas can hold off the rest of the field. But we have 75 subscribers and I wanted to do the giveaway and want to give a shout out and thank Danny Ramirez. So Danny Ramirez really stepped it up for the channel. He was on the first video with his ace on hole number 1. He actually donated for the channel. This is a 2015 Aussie Open Metal Flake Thunderbird. This disc is sweet. Max weight, really nice. Super sparkly, great logo. So thank you, Danny Ramirez. Huge support from him. And the winner, I drew the name earlier, and it's Kyle Dunlap. So Kyle, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for watching the show. Really appreciate it. You're going to have to give me your address and information. So in the comment below or something, find me somewhere or somehow get that to me so I can mail it out to you. Again, anybody can win these. Thank you so much, Kyle Dunlap. And we'll get right to the action. And thank you guys. Again, hit the like button, the subscribe, and the next giveaway is going to be another really good disc, or maybe we'll do a multiple disc giveaway when we hit 100 subscribers. Also, please watch the show in the coming month or months. We're going to be having some incredible special guests on the show. We're going to be doing a couple in the bags with some really good disc golfers, both of them MPO players, and both of them over 1,000 rated players. So we're going big time, folks, and so stay tuned for that. Really exciting. They love what I do, and they're going to contribute to the show, and it's going to be exciting. So please watch for that. Thank you guys, and let's get to the action. And here we are back at the Taylor Mountain Winter Round 2016, a UFOs production. Please check out all the different courses that the UFOs have built. This video is also brought to you by Pound Disc Golf Bags, home of the Octothorpe. And please check out their new edition. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's a pretty big bag and it's pretty sweet. So you can visit pounddiscgolf.com. Also brought to you by Dollar Disc Golf Auctions, buying, selling, and collecting discs. And please support local business, Play It Again Sports, and Underrated Disc Golf. Through the month of December, there's a special discount at Play It Again Sports. All Innovadisc, Star, and Champion, $13.99. Please mention this video and all other videos done by me. Thank you. Thank you, Billy, for all of your help and support through the UFOs and other disc golfers. Here's our featured card again: Frank, David, Juan, and Casey. And Frank maintaining a 3-stroke lead from the front 9. And here we are at hole number 10. You can see that the telephone pole in the middle of your screen is just about 20 feet to the right of the hole. And here we have an exclusive look at the basket brought to you by me. And you can see where in relation the basket is. That's a brand new feature we're implementing on this video. And here you can see Frank, he's going to go with a little hyzer putter route. And that's going to be probably 20-25 feet to the left. A pretty good line for Frank after coming off 5 straight birdies. And here is David trying to make a move, and he just hits the branch. That was hyzering back in beautifully. So we'll see what that leaves him. I think he's going to be short. Here's Juan with a breaker. And that's going to not get high enough, but he had a good line. Usually if you take Juan's line and you get a little bit higher up, you'll slide down to the hole. And there's Casey. Casey hyzers around, and he'll probably be around that telephone pole area. He should have a putt. Not a bad line at all. That's the route I like to be. I like to be by the telephone pole because it's a flatter putt, and it's usually about 15 feet, maybe 17 feet. Now, definitely a birdie opportunity. Here's David. Now, David, we were talking about this. The players on the card were talking about it. He was down 3 shots heading in, so he's gonna run it. And again, this is just an aggressive move. He rolls away. I don't think he should have done it. Um, in a tournament, all the players who watch and listen, you gotta lay up. It's definitely a par shot. Here's Juan putting for birdie, and he's gonna miss, and he'll have a par. Here's Frank, and absolutely hits it dead center. 6 in a row now, and he's gonna go to 8 under par. And here's David, who decided to run it. This could be a 2-shot swing and a poor decision. And it is. It's going to cost him 2 shots. And folks, again, if you're a beginning player, a mediocre player, maybe AM3, AM2, the decision is you got to not do that. You got to lay up. You got to take the par. And here's Casey. He looped back around, as I said, hyzering back in. This is within his range. Let's see if he can convert. And a beautiful putt by Casey. So he gets back to -2, tying Juan, and that lead now is at 5 shots. So Frank is playing pretty well, and there's hole 11. So you can see there are some rocks. You can get kicked away. If you do get up on the upslope, if you hit it by the tree, you can get kicked away. So Frank, and big hyzering shot. And here's Casey. Casey's going to end up a little over by Frank. For some reason, I lost it in the sky, and he finished over by Frank. But just a little bit more to the left of the hole. And here's Juan. And Juan is such a pure player. He has such a slow and just a great rhythm, a mechanical player. If you watch anybody on this card watch how they play and their motion, I think Juan has just a smooth motion. And there's David, not a bad shot. I think that was his Colvin, or maybe it was an outlaw. There's his McPro. David's gonna have a 3, and here's Casey. Casey's up shot, and that's gonna rattle around like a pinball machine, and that's not good. Here's Frank, and I don't know what Frank was doing. But maybe not the time to aggressively run it. You got a 5-shot lead, and I think he noticed that. Here's Casey for par. And he missed it, a bogey for Casey after a really nice birdie. Here's Juan after an outstanding drive. And smooth as silk, another great shot by Juan. And Frank's going to have a bogey, so he's going to drop 2 to Juan, who's trying to make a move here. And David and Casey are going to get David's going to get a par, and Casey's going to get a bogey. So a little bit of moving around up here at the leaderboard. And as we look at the leaderboard, Frank drops his stroke to -7, and he still has a 4-shot lead. Now, if we look at hole 12 is a hyzer shot for a right-handed player, and you can see here, there's the basket. You want to hyzer it enough to get around this stump. And here's a better look at the hole. This is the stump from a different angle. You got to get around it, otherwise you're going to be 15 to 20 feet out in the open, and it is very windy. And we'll see a Juan right here as he's up to shoot first. And that is a beautiful shot. And that's going to be a birdie for Juan. On the back 9, we had some camera technical difficulties. The battery was running low. So I think after hole 13, we just went and filmed the drives. But I can tell you what they did. That was a good shot by David, and that was his buzz. Frank, again, with a 4-shot lead, maybe being generous and trying to help a comeback here, throws one short, and so he's going to have an upshot. I just want to let everybody know, and there's Frank's upshot, and not good. Again, errant with the putter. This is David for a birdie. But I wanted to let everybody know, these guys are all AM1 players. David is an AM2 player, but all the rest are AM1s. And you can see David missing his birdie putt. That's going to be a par. And Juan definitely making his. And that's another bogey for Frank. And another birdie for Juan. So 4 shots in the last couple holes and a 2-shot lead now for Frank. Here we are at hole 13. The fence line on the left is OB, so you can go backhand or forehand. The typical route here for a right-handed player is a forehand. However, if you have something overstable, you have confidence in it, you can throw a backhand. But a lot of times players make the mistake of throwing something overstable on this hole, and usually it's a headwind. So you'll get blown into the 18th fairway, and that could be trouble for you and lead to a bogey. So you just want to be careful. Don't throw something flippy. You want to throw something overstable on this hole, and Juan definitely does that, and he's pin high, just maybe 20-25 feet up the hill, so he'll have a run at it. But what I was saying is all these players are AM1 players, so their scores are indicative of what they should be shooting. Their skill level, this is not a hard course, so usually they should be shooting anywhere between 3 to 6 under par. With exception to Frank. Frank was off to a pretty good start. That was a little bit above what he normally plays at. I think that was his best front nine that he might have mentioned to me. So he was playing a little bit over his rating. But typically, these guys should be shooting what they are. So just want to let everybody know that they're not shooting crazy good scores. They are AM1 players, just to let everybody know. And that was a pretty good shot. That was a Thunderbird, a glow Thunderbird by Frank. And here's Casey. So Casey ended up throwing a thumber. And he's well short, but a good layup. He's going to get a par. And we'll see if David can capitalize on his drive. And just very short, but he'll have a par. So here is Frank for a birdie and try to extend it out. And he just hits dead center cage. So that's going to lead to a par. And here's Juan, and let's see if Juan can make it 3 in a row and 6 strokes in 3 holes. Oh, and just off the top of the cage. Oh, and a par frame. Juan wanted that one back. Here we are at hole number 14. 14 is one of the more difficult holes on the course. It's a big anhyzer shot. Some players throw thumbers, not a lot, or you can throw a forehand. Again, that's a more typical line you see. But here's Juan after parring that last hole. And I'm not sure what he threw right here, if that was his outlaw, but that is a crush and a good anhyzer flip. That's a good anhyzer. You can see it's coming from left to right. So here's David. I think he's throwing his star turn right here, the black turn. See if he can pick up a stroke or make a move here. This is typically a hole that you can pick up a stroke on. Oh, and he's going to get caught up early in that tree. That might not be good for David. Let's see if Frank can capitalize. And Frank throwing a nice disc up there. That's a pretty good landing spot. You're right in the middle. You can see there's the basket. He's maybe 70, 80 feet away. Not too far. And here's Casey. Casey's going to throw a thumber. Very aggressive right here. Look at this thing flip in the air. You can't quite see it. I tried to stay on it. And there it is right in the middle. So a big thumber by Casey. And everybody parred except for Frank. So Frank dropped another shot, and the lead is down to 1. So unbelievable. We got an incredible match. Here we are at hole 15. There's the basket through the tight window. You want to go straight right at it. And you got to be careful on your putts because there is a hill and it could roll back. So you got to be careful. Here's Juan. Juan's going to go right at it. And he's not going to have a bad shot. But he's going to be a little bit further than you want for a birdie. So after hitting the tree on hole 14, an unbelievable upshot was David. So David ended up getting a par, and you can't see his disc, but it's right there just short of the animal running. So he'll have a look maybe if that tree branch isn't in the way. There's Frank, who shot really quick. You can see where he's going. He shot his rock, I believe. But a one-shot lead now after leading by 5. And there's Casey's shot. And again, with the camera battery almost dying, we only could get the drives, but everybody got par, so another par frame. Here we are at hole 16, and you can see that there is some tight windows here. This is what makes this hole hard. So again, you gotta hit your lines correctly, and then of course either lay up or make the correct run at the basket. You don't want to be low and hit off the cage because you can roll all the way back down the hill. And you can see Juan catching an early tree. So he's going to have a tough shot if he's going to make a birdie here. Here's David on the box. And David is going to try to hit that window. He does. He skips up and he'll have a look. And we'll see what he can do. Here's Casey. Casey is throwing another thumber. And there is a window up there at the very top of the trees, folks. There's the window. Boom. Oh my goodness. Put a little whipped cream on that, and that is just icing on the top of the cake. That is as good as it gets for a thumber. And there's Frank. Frank's going to get caught up in those rocks, but he should have a putt. And you can see that everybody got a par except for Casey with that incredible thumber for a birdie too. Here we are at hole 17. OB on the right side. The fence goes all the way down, and you can see the fence goes behind it, connecting to hole 13 too. So if you go long or if you go to the right, it is OB. But this is a hole that everybody should birdie. Like I said, everybody's AM1. This is one of the second shortest hole on the course. It's wide open. If you're an AM1 player or a pro player, this is a must-have birdie. So I would expect to see at least 3 to 4 birdies on this hole from this group. And you can see where Casey and Juan went pretty good shots. And there's a nice little buzz from David. And here is Frank. And he hits the tree. So that's a critical mistake for Frank. We missed his upshot, but he is going to have a par putt nonetheless coming up. And there's Juan, smooth as silk. Oh, silky. So a birdie for Juan, and this is all the pressure in the world for Frank. And he misses it. Oh my goodness. And Juan comes all the way back, and he has taken a one-shot lead with 1 to go. And here's David. Let's not forget about him. So a birdie putt for David. And he gets some help from the left side of the basket. Casey tapping in for birdie. So there's the 3 birdies, and Frank makes a costly mistake. So he has actually lost the lead and is down 1 heading into 18. 18 is the longest hole on the course and one of the hardest. There's the basket flat in the meadow near the parking lot. We didn't get the drives on 18. The camera was going to die, so I wanted to get the putts. That's a beautiful layup for David for par. He's going to finish at 4 under, and almost going out of bounds is Juan, and this is Juan for a birdie 2 to ice it, to seal the deal. Oh, and it just hits off the basket. A great par for Juan. And here's Frank to try to tie and send it into overtime. And he missed it. But he will make that comebacker for par. And here's Casey for a 2. And never had a chance. Got the height, just didn't want it enough. So there's the final scores. Juan comes all the way back to win it by 1. Thank you guys for watching the show. Please like and subscribe, and more to come from the channel as mentioned. Stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching.